Hello everybody, welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. This is the windy version of the show. I think we're about to have a storm come here where I live, but I wanted to formally welcome you to Options Week. What is Options Week, you may ask? Well, I have decided that I am going to do a really fun week full of videos where we are going to be taking you through all things options. I am very grateful that options exist. After all, it has afforded me the opportunity to work from home and sell options for a living. And so dedicating an entire week of videos to options, well, that's just fine with me. So I want to explain to you today the significance of the third particular week in a month for options trading. And it's very important when I make my decisions. I always encourage my students, and I do this myself, before I make an option play, I want to go and look at what the chain looks like on the third Friday of the month. Even if my intent is to just trade the weekly options, I still want to see what the larger institutions are up to because I do make better decisions that way. And there are things you can do to make your trade even safer by having this knowledge. So I'm going to show you all of that today so that you can up your gains when you are trading options. Now, I need you to do something for me. I would love for you to go to my community tab. It is on my YouTube channel. And on that tab, you will see a poll and you will be able to decide which particular stock you want me to trade live this Friday. And so if you've always been curious about a certain stock, maybe it's selling options on the stock, maybe it's buying a leaps, doing a poor man's covered call, and you have a favorite ticker symbol you want to see me trade live, I need you to go vote for that. We'll probably have a showdown every day on which ones are going to make it to the finish line, and I'll go through all of the detail for you. But right now, I want to take you into my computer, into the option chain, and I'm going to show you how lucrative it can be if you use this information on the third Friday of the month to make better decisions when you're selling options. To get started, let's go look at a stock on the Yahoo Finance chart to get a better sense for where a starting point might be if we are going to go to an option chain. So right now, I am looking at Palantir. It's pulled back 6% today, which is a perfect opportunity to start to look at selling puts. And so I see right here, we're still a bit overbought at 71 on the RSI. But if I wanted to sell some puts today, the first thing I would do when I get to the technical analysis on the chart is I would look for some natural level of support. Well, the first thing that jumps out to me is right here, this $51. This is the 20-day moving average. It's the middle of the Bollinger Band. We're not quite close enough to it to actually go and sell the put. But this is a good starting point, and I may want to keep my eyes on this. And so if I'm going to watch this throughout the week to try to sell a put, I'm next going to go to an option chain to see where all the institutions are placing all of their trades, so I might make a better decision that way. Once you get to the option chain, you want to select an expiration date. Today is a good day to look at Friday's expiration. That is this Friday because it is the third Friday of the month. So keeping in mind that $50 level for Palantir, I want to come down on the chain and start looking at how some of these trades are stacking up. So if I look on this chain, I can see right here the $50 level. It's got a really low delta, which means more than likely this strike price will not be hit by Friday. But look at what else I'm seeing. Do you notice here that the volume in open interest is much higher than any of the chains around it? So this $50 level is a good line in the sand for option traders, primarily institutional traders at this point, because several have placed their bets on this $50 level. Now, this is good to know. I want to look on the additional parts of the chain to see, could I sell a put that actually will give me more premium and allow me to align myself with the institutional traders? So let's go look. As we come up right here at the $55 level, look at this. We have quite a bit of volume in open interest at that level as well. So this has got a 0.1 delta, still a very small chance that I'll be put the shares at this level. But this is duly noted that many institutions are lining up right here at the $55 mark. But as I look further down, I see something that really stands out to me. And this is how you can really learn so much information. Look right down here at the $60 strike price. Notice that of all the different ones we've looked at, look how much volume and open interest is taking place at the $60 and the $59 strike. Armed with this information, I would feel a lot more confident getting into a trade that is somewhere close to this. Maybe I decide to go with something like a $56 strike because that is a lot of orders to get through to get to my $56 strike right here. You have to get through this 18,000, 40,000, 32,000, 16,000, 15,000. And then if you get through all of that and it does not cause the price to be pushing back up, well, maybe I just need the shares then. But this is going to help me make a better decision. So if I am going to sell a put today, if I'm aggressive and I really want to get my hands on the shares, then using this knowledge of all the volume and open interest, I am more than likely going to align myself right here at the $60 strike price. There is about a 37% chance we end up here at the end of the week. And if I really want these shares, if I don't have enough Palantir, then seeing what the institutions are doing kind of gives me some insight. But if I'm more interested in just primarily premium, then I would want to line myself up probably right here where we looked at about the $56 strike, because I like to look at all of this volume and open interest. I like to look at these like soldiers, and those soldiers are pushing my price back. Only if it gets overtaken and the selling pressure is such that it will actually get down to my strike price, these different levels of support and all this volume and open interest should theoretically push the stock higher as some of these orders start getting triggered. Now let's go look at another volatile stock. I want to take a look at Tesla just to get a better sense for where a good entry may be for a covered call on Tesla, because it's running again today. So you have quite the jump today. You have about a 5% jump. Let's change this to candles. I just think that's a better look. It's easier to read. All right, so if I am going to sell covered calls on Tesla this week, which, by the way, I really tell my students I would not sell covered calls any further out on a stock like Tesla for more than a week, because anything could happen and it could blow right through your strike. But if I'm looking at this, the first thing that comes to mind is right here up here at this $360 level might be a really good spot to sell a covered call. And so now I want to go look on the option chain and see what the institutions are doing. So this is today's expiration, and the calls are right here on the left. We had looked at that $350 level. Look at all of the volume. It looks like a lot of traders are actually looking at that level for covered calls, and they're paying quite a bit. That's another thing. The more volume and open interest you have on an option chain, the better the premiums are going to be. And the bid-ask spread, which is an important part of having your orders filled, those are tighter and closer together when you have a lot of volume on the chain. There's your bid and there's your ask. There's just, a few cents between them, which shows you this is a really popular chain. And so keeping the same thesis in mind with looking at volume and open interest, if I wanted to ensure safety, I would want to look at all of the different levels and line myself up maybe somewhere where there is quite a bit of volume and then it drops off. So look right here at the 380 level. 29,000 is rather large, and then if you look everything in front of it, it's not near as significant. So if I want it to be safe and just pick up a little bit extra premium, I might align myself right here at 382. Now, you're only going to be getting $1.28 a share, but that's better than having your Tesla shares called away and you had wanted to actually hold on to them for longer. And so without seeing all this and without having this knowledge, you may unknowingly just pick a strike price because you weren't sure, where the institutions are doing all of their trading. And then that would unfortunately hurt you in the event that your shares were called away, because you may be leaving a lot of money on the table. So hopefully this actually helps you make smarter decisions. And depending on if you want the stocks assigned or if you want the shares called away, you can use this information to increase your odds. Or if you don't want shares assigned and you don't want your stocks called away, you can use this information to add an extra measure of safety. I hope you found that helpful. I do think it's appropriate that I dedicate an entire week to options. After all, it is what is allowing me to be at home instead of working in a stuffy office in corporate America. So I'm so excited to do this for all of you. And remember, if you are with me trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind.